All right, wonderful. So we can go ahead and get started. And we are also recording this as well. So for anybody who's joining late, who wants to hear more information, we'd be happy to share it. So thank you all so much for joining us across many different time zones. So we really appreciate you guys being here with us today to learn more about Jootal. And we're happy to have you guys join us as actually our first users of the app. So our goal is to connect the diaspora back to Africa while also fueling our continent's development. So as you are using Jootal, we really welcome your feedback as we're continuing to build, we're continuing to iterate. So for the sake of the connection of the call, we'll ask that you please keep your cameras off. If you do have any questions anytime throughout the webinar, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll try our best to answer them as we're going. Otherwise, we do have time set up for a Q&A at the end of this session. And also, we do have a special surprise for anyone who is in Atlanta within our attendees. We are actually going to be giving out 10 free tickets to Atlanta Tech Week. So this is one of the biggest tech events happening in Atlanta, and it's happening next week. So the ticket will get you in from the 11th through the 13th. And instead of paying $270, we will give you a ticket for free. So at the end, we'll go ahead and ask that you provide your email and we'll send it to you. So please just wait till the Q&A session and we'll give more details about that. So yep, we'll go ahead and get started. So today's agenda, we will actually walk you through why we created Jootal, what need we saw for the app and why we decided to create it, how you can actually send money through the app very easily, and the importance of security and compliance and everything that we do to ensure your safety, the real world impact that you can have, as well as the investment opportunities that will be coming soon through the app. We'll go ahead and show you guys a live demo of the app, and we will leave time for a Q&A, and then we'll give out those tickets at the very end.
Okay, so over the past few years, every year, if we combine the African diaspora, which is many of us here, whether we were born somewhere on the continent and are living in Europe or here in the United States, which is most of the people on the call, every year we send over $100 billion. And what are the use case of that money? It's to support family members, to take our parents, for example, to help them have access to healthcare, but only a portion of that capital is used for investment purpose. If we take a case of a country like Cabo Verde, 25% of their GDP rely on these remittances. And a country like Senegal, which is where I'm from, is 10% of the GDP. So imagine if that flow was cut, right? It will take a big hit on those countries' GDP. The problem is right now, the infrastructure being used to move that capital is slow, expensive, and outdated. And then we decided to be a player in this ecosystem and bring a solution on it. So if we go to the next slide, we decided to dig deep into these core challenges. Currently, to move those $100 billion, we use a lot of fragmented system. We use multiple apps trying to send money back home with high fees, low exchange rate, etc., which is very scary, right? Because it doesn't give us the opportunity to really understand the relationship that we have with back home, especially when it comes to money. When it comes to investment as well, we have interviewed a lot of people, and some of them have given us stories whereby they are here, they gather about $10,000, $20,000, and what do? They just go ahead and buy land because that's the most traditional thing to do, right? Unfortunately, some of them has realized that whatever they have bought, when they went back, it turns out it was not really for them because they don't really understand the legal landscape on the ground, right? You live here in the United States. you understand what's going on here, but not really that much on the ground. So some of them has lost all that capital they really work hard for. On the other side, you have businesses on the ground, right, who really just need money to be able to operate and scale because they are already expert. They know how to get business done on the ground, solve problems that are on the ground. And we are here in the diaspora. So they're not really empowered, but they are we have other countries like China, for example, who are investing on the continent through the FID, the foreign direct investment. You have international banks and other governments investing on the continent. But what about us, right? What about the $100 billion we send it back home? Do we just want to support family members, or do we really want to utilize that to build local businesses and be prosperous?
Yes, so as Abdul stated, currently there are many challenges that are facing remittance, including the fragmentation of systems and how hard it is to actually even invest back home. So currently you have to loop through so many apps, and your end user, for them to be able to pull out the money, it can be complex, even if you send it to them. So with Jootal, we wanted to create a system where you can send money back home all within an app and invest in projects all in the same place. So we're very transparent with your financial tracking. So what we mean by this is we're showing you the exact status of your transaction, whether it's in transit, whether it's been completed, etc. And we're building tools for you to also see analytics on the money that you have sent and where it is going, what exactly, if you are reaching your financial goals. In terms of legal, we ensure compliance within all of the markets that we operate in. And for the actual investment phase that we will be launching, we're working with legal teams to ensure compliance and safety in terms of your investment, so that you know where your money is being invested and the status of your funds. Because like Abdul said, sometimes you give somebody money to invest in land and then you just never hear about it again. So we really want to eradicate this problem and show you transparency and making sure that we're working with bonds that are secure and safe for your investment. So we also help you support local businesses as well, whether that means you are sending them money directly for their services or you are investing through the investment portfolios that we'll have for you. So why did our team specifically build Jootal? Well, honestly, we're all Africans that want to contribute to Africa's development. So, for example, I'm from Algeria, Abdul is from Senegal, Demba as well. So we're all working together, wanting to actually contribute to the development of the nation. So we're seeing actually that US aid, as we're all seeing on the news lately, is being cut to Africa. We're seeing a lot of investors, foreign, just like Abdul stated, the Chinese investors back home. Like when I go to Algeria, I definitely see them there building. And, you know, they all see the value back home. So why can't we as a diaspora build for our nations collectively? So if we all work together, we can really fuel the development of our continent, and it will be done through our funds as well too, and us actually being able to invest and benefit as well from our own continent and nations. So we also wanted to reduce the fees and the delays that we are seeing in sending money. We want to offer transparency while also helping you fund these projects back home. So we knew Africa deserved better, so we decided to go ahead and build it. So what is actually in it for you and what's in it for Africa? Well, for you as an African expat, whether you're living in the US, we actually want to help you save money when you're sending money back home to your family or friends. As Abdul stated, like this is such a big part of supporting our families back home, and we want to make sure that you understand the direct relationship that your money is having with back home, while saving you time, energy, and giving you peace of mind that your money is making it there securely. For the continent, we want to empower the continent to rely more on us as opposed to just foreign direct investors. we want to empower local businesses and institutions to be able to build and progress the content. Like, we all know how much talent is out there in Africa. We know that the local businesses there are amazing, and there's so many people doing amazing things. So why can't we go ahead and support the projects happening back home? So that is the goal of Jootal.
With all that being said, you may still ask, what is Jootal? So think of it as a one single platform whereby you can do three things. You can send money, manage your finances related to home, and also invest on the continent. So right now we have the very first phase available, which is sending money. We built the infrastructure. It took us about 1.5 years or 2 years to build it, but that's the lever that we will use to build everything else that is about to come. If you go to the next slide. So it's very easy right now to utilize it. You can go to the App Store, download it, sign up, right? It's we will show you later. You will see it's basic, very simple. We provide 3 to 4 information, then you pretty much have access to the platform. And then you will have to do a KYC because we mentioned that we want our platform is compliant. So we have to make sure everybody who's using our platform to send money is actually legitimate and the source of income is also legitimate. And we use Personal to do the third party, as it's a third party provider that we use to do the KYC. So we don't have none of your information. So rest assured with that. Once you finish with the KYC, then next step is to link your bank account. And we have the debit card processor that we are actively building as well. We also use a third party called Plaid. Most of us are very familiar with Plaid because it's recognized globally as a very secure, pretty much settings to link bank account. And then the last step is just pretty much adding your recipient, selecting the amount, and then pretty much wiring, sending the money. So right now we are starting with 3 countries, Senegal, Kenya, and Ghana. Those are the one we went live with, right? But we have many more countries in the pipeline, right? So if you think there is another country that you want us to accelerate the process and make it available, right, for you guys to be able to send money back there, let us know. You can email us, you can email me directly, you can put it on the chat, and then definitely we will be looking into it more in details.
So in terms of compliance, compliance, encryption, and trust is the top priority. So that is also why we are launching countries within phases. So as Abdul has mentioned, we already have Senegal, we have Ghana, and we have Kenya as well. So we will continue to launch within phases. And before onboarding any country for you to send money to, we make sure that we're regulated with the financial institutions there. We're providing you a secure KYC process. We also have an internal team and also our partners where we're analyzing all of the transactions in real time. We're flagging any suspicious activity. And we only partner with licensed institutions to make sure that you have the end-to-end encryption at every stage. So for example, here on the KYC, you can see that we are partnered with Persona, who's a licensed institution for the KYC, as well as for the bank account onboarding and soon to come the debit card as well, the transfer aspect as well, etc. So compliance is very, very important, especially when dealing with transfers to Africa. So why Jootal wins? So we have 0 hidden fees, so there is no transfer fee. We have a fair exchange rate as well, and for delivery tracking, you can see everything happening and when your money's in transit, when it's been received, etc. It has been diaspora built, and we are Africa focused. And Also, we have multilingual and multi-currency support. So our support team is available to support you at any time. Within the app, you will see that we have a support email available, and that will come in to us and we will take care of you. We also have multilingual, as in we speak French, we speak English, Wolof, etc., many different languages to help out. So yes, we'll go now into the live product demo.
Okay, awesome. So if you go to the next slide, maybe we can show how to get started. So once you can go to the App Store, download it, and then go through the initial onboarding and then get started. So as you can see in the beginning, it's very simple. You provide your full name, email, phone number, password, and then you will have to go through the terms and conditions, read it properly, and then pretty much confirm your account. These are the only information that we have from you. Everything else is secured through our third-party providers. I have to make sure both the password and the confirmation are about the same, right? And then on your email, you will receive a code, and you have to use that code pretty much to confirm your email, because we also want to make sure every type of communication, account recovery will go through the email you utilize to create the your account with. So thus far, this is very simple. The very first thing you have to do once you actually have access to the dashboard is to verify your identity. We spoke about it earlier. We are obligated to make sure everybody is legit who use the platform. So we use Persona, which is a third-party license provider for verification. You have a couple of way you can use to be verified: driver license, state ID, passport, etc. But even us who are students here on a visa, you can even use that to get yourself verified. So it's as easy as that. So if we go to the next, now it's about the sending, right? So the sending is also very simple. First, you select the countries you want, which is the top 3 that we have available right now. Still working on other countries, but essentially, once you select it, all you have to do, just click on send money, right? And then naturally, you will have to select the recipient, right? And we have access to your list. The frequent are those you have used before. And at the bottom, these are the lists of your contact. You can select whichever you want, or you can search it as well. And then once you select your recipient, right, we just want you to confirm the phone number to reduce any margin of error or things like that. Once you confirm the phone number, right, you should be good to go. You can just save the recipient, and then you will be taken back to the main page where you decide how much you want them to receive, or how much you are sending, and then pretty much the conversion will be done properly. You select the bank account, whichever you have linked your account with, and then the delivery method, right? And then pretty much you just have to make sure you go through these transaction details, make sure everything worked properly, the amount you're sending, the recipient, etc. And then scan your face, right, before you confirm the transaction, because we don't want somebody, right, to pick your phone and conduct a transaction on your behalf. So you have to scan your face or put your finger ID to properly confirm the transaction. So what's the next from what we have available right now? It's the transaction management, right? We want you to be able to see how your finances is in relationship with back home. So for example, if I were to ask you how much did you send the past 2 weeks for support or for donation, or in the month of December, how much did you send for building a business, etc. Right. So these are like questions that are not easily answerable because we use these different fragmented systems. But with Jootal, it would enable you to do it. You will understand exactly, where the money is flowing. Because once you have this bird eye views about how your funds are flowing back home, then we are empowered to make a proper decision about what to cut, what to convert into investment, what to do next. Right. First, we need insights, then decision, and that's what this is enabling you to do. And on top of that is now converting those remittances into investment, which is the third layer we are building. Now it's okay, how do we do the investment in a smart and very passive way, right? Most of us think we are investors, but we are actually operators because we have to hire, fire, do all those type of things, handle the legal aspect, etc. Right? Even ourselves, we have to rely on others who are experts on the ground to do this for us because we do not have the capacity to do it. Right? So that's what really passivity is about. And we want to get started with something that is very secure and easy because eventually most of us will go back at some point to build like what is in 5 years, 1 decade, 2 decade, etc. To utilize whatever fund we have available to get started or to live in Senegal or somewhere back home, Algeria, etc. Right? So we have these government bonds that we are working on, portfolios in agriculture, real estate. These are like stable, right? You're not gonna get crazy return, but at least it's something stable that can be built on top of. And that's what we want, right? If you have suggestions or something that can be considered that is, stable, right? Let us know as well, and then we will take it as a consideration. Gigi, I don't know if you want to add something here.
Yeah, no, that's great, Abdul. I think you've covered everything with the investment aspect. So we're excited to launch this phase next. This is our team. So we are always happy to talk to you guys at any time. Abdul is the CEO, Demba is the Chief Compliance Officer. I am the Chief Strategy Officer. Chiamaka is our product designer. Sheikh is our in-house developer. And Abu Bakr is our social media coordinator. So we also work with our partners as well, and we work with other devs as well. So yeah, we're happy to serve you guys. And yes, with that being said, thank you guys so much for your time, for joining us to learn more about Jootal. You can scan these QR codes. If you have Apple phone, you scan here. If you have a Google phone, you scan here, and you can download the app, and we welcome your feedback. So as you guys are aware, we have just launched. You guys are the first to hear about this via our webinar. So of course, we're open to your feedback. Anything that you notice, just give us a chat. And now we will actually also welcome you guys to drop your email in the chat if you would like an Atlanta Tech Week ticket. So please comment your email if you are actually based in Atlanta and able to attend the event. The ticket is for June 11th through the 13th. So this will save you $270 on that ticket, and it will be free. So please go ahead and drop your email in the chat if you are interested in a ticket. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and welcome questions, and we're happy to give you the answers. So thank you guys for your time. Yes, Keith.
Hey, first, thanks for the presentation. As regulation around fintech and remittances evolve, especially with like new taxes, like the 3.5% tax coming up soon, I think in 2026, how is Jootal thinking about keeping costs low for users and also keeping users informed?
Yeah, that's a good point, Keith. Yeah, pretty much. If the bill passed, right, there is nothing we can do about it except comply. Because if we don't comply, then we are just eliminated, right? And if we are eliminated, we're not going to be able to serve the way we want to do it. So right now, our recommendation, right, and the way we want to do it is just speak about it, whether it's in social media or anything else. Like talk about other diaspora who are lobbyists, right, or who have power uh, on the at the White House level for them to be able at least to kill the bill, right, or kill that part of the bill where um, sorry, there's a noise happening.
Hey, Teen, do you mind muting your? Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, actually, yeah, just have some of our politicians or who are who have power at the White House level, right, to cut the bill and make sure it doesn't pass. But if it passes, we cannot do nothing except comply because yeah, we are at the mercy of the regulation pretty much. I don't know if Gigi or anybody else want to add something on it.
And maybe a follow-up question, sorry. Do you think we'll increase or decrease the volume of remittances or push folks into other alternatives like stable coins or other crypto? Or
Yeah, I think the remittances, if we see that, if you look into the trends for the past few years, it just continued to go up. I don't think this bill is definitely going to, um, slow us down when it comes to sending money back home, right? But obviously it will give us a hit. But the fact that we use stablecoin as a lever to move the money between the continents, right? From the United States, from North America to Africa. And even if we use a stable coin as a lever, that 3.5% tax is still going to be taken from the front end, right? Before it even go to the blockchain technology. So I don't think if it passed, there is a way we can go around it. But that's a very good point. Stablecoin is a lever right now. We are using right now to cut the thing down, to cut the fees down. Because if you use the Swift rails, which is a legacy system, it's probably going to take 2 to 3% more. But the fact that we are using the stable coin, we are able to bring it to 0.25, consequently saving you guys more money, but saving ourselves more as well.
Yeah, great question, Keith. And yeah, definitely like stable coins a way to lower these fees, which we've actually integrated within our system to keep the fees low, to give you guys a zero transfer fee. Anna, I see you have a question.
Good morning. Great presentation. This looks like a great opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to being able to use this platform. One question that was on my mind was that when it comes to investment in projects on ground or boots on the ground for select African countries, is there going to be a means to communicate with the services on the ground, or will Jootal serve as the middleman more so to be able to give updates on the planning and everything that's been going on with the personal projects that we would select to move forward with?
Gigi, do you want to answer that or?
Do you mind answering that, Abdul?
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, we went with the premise we're not expert at sourcing those deals, packaging the information, and then presenting it up the chain to the investors, right? But since we are a U.S. company, there are certain rules and regulation we have to follow, which means reporting is one of the regulations that we are obligated to do. So how like what is the plan is to actually work with experts on the ground, right, who already know how to source those deals, who already have packaged those information, who already have compliance system put in place, and then we work with them as a middleman and then streamline those assets up to the investors in the United States. So that save us time. that save us also cost in sourcing those deals, because we're not necessarily experts are doing it, but there are experts we work with who know how to get it done, whereby once we bring those assets and securities here in the United States, it's already compliant for the investors. And yeah, from the platform, the app directly, you will have the updates depending on what type of securities you have invested in it. If it is like bonds, right? So we will keep giving you updates on those bonds. If it is other type of assets, you will also get it there, because the information will be streamed up to us and then we will forward it to you guys. That's why we want to get started with something stable. You know, it's not like crazy returns that we are normally familiar with, but at least it's stable and it's secure. And then from there, we learn and build and bring all the assets like small businesses, because at that stage, we already have the capacity and the knowledge and the insights about how do we get them, how do we source them and do the proper due diligence. I don't know if that answered the question.
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and just to add on, like, that will require us also preparing all the necessary documentation for you to have ownership of these bonds, and like us to vet the origin of these bonds, and like have our compliance team working with the governments of the nation, as well as local business owners, etc., that want investment within their projects. So I see Toon has a question.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now.
All right, sorry, I was on mute. Sorry, I'm at the gym, so if you hear something in the background, it's the background music. You might have answered my second part of my question already, but my first part was, for example, I'm Nigerian, so I mean, obviously, I got a lot of family over there, and also know people that want to invest in different countries like South Africa, different places like that. So first part of my question is, what would be the value of Jootal to someone that is not already within those three countries that you guys are launching in? Or would it be something that they should just wait on? And the second part was, as far as for example, I know a lot of people that want to invest in Kenya. And I might have gotten what you guys said mistaken, but as far as like preventing fraud or things like that, if you want to buy land or real estate, is that something that you said you guys app helps alleviate? And if so, kind of how does it, how does it stop like fraud and stuff like for buying land? I know like buying kind of fake deeds and things like that, that happens a lot. Or somebody will buy land and they're not out there all the time, so they come maybe 5-10 years later, somebody squatted on their land and it kind of it doesn't belong to them anymore. Like, is that something that you guys product helps alleviate?
Yeah, Toon, thank you for the question. So for the first part of your question with what would be the value of Jootal to someone who's not necessarily within the three countries that we're launching in. So at the first stage of the app is going to be remittance. It's going to be sending money to your recipient. So whether that's your family, whether that's your friends. So we are starting off with Kenya, Senegal, and Ghana. However, this is only for right now, and it will continue to grow. So we will be launching countries like consistently moving forward. So there is that aspect. And then once the investment piece, so this piece hasn't been launched yet, the investment part, but with that aspect of things, you don't necessarily have to be from the countries to invest in them. So that will be open to anyone within the United States that wants to invest in these projects that are happening abroad in Kenya, in Ghana, in South Africa, as you had mentioned. And Abdul, would you like to take on for specifically preventing fraud within real estate? Because I know within customer discovery, this was a big part of what we had looked into and building actually the investment piece to combat this.
Yeah, that's also a very good question. We know this is one of the biggest concern the African diaspora have when it comes to investing back home. The way, so we decided to start at the bottom, right? Which is something that is more stable. It's not really like sexy because it's government bonds, etc., and some mutual funds, etc. But we know it's at least a stable building block, right? And we want to get started from there and not be reckless, just go run and get any type of assets. We have seen, we have been approached many times with opportunities on the ground, but we're not just going to take it and make it available for acquisition, right? Because we haven't gotten to that stage yet. We want to start with at the bottom, something that is stable and secure, because we have to respond to the US law because we are a US corporation, right? We don't want to get in trouble. So we are starting at the bottom of the chain and then start having building blocks as we learn and have more insights and more personnel to pretty much get access to, for example, land that are already secure. So we have had approaches from Cote d'Ivoire, and as far as real estate is concerned, because they are more digitalized, right? Guinea as well, when it comes to like acquiring licenses in mining, this is also something more digitalized. So, and backed by the governments, right? So these are ways or like next step we are going to attack, but we want to start at the bottom and then have building blocks all the way until as we just want to make sure whatever is available on Jootal, right? The investor will have a peace of mind. It may not be very attractive in the beginning, but at least it's on the building block of that safety that we want to take our next step slowly but surely. I don't know if that answered the question or you have a follow-up.
No, yeah, I think that answered the question. I appreciate it.
Looks like Demba, you have a question.
Hey guys, hey Jootal team. Hello everyone out there. My name is Demba. I don't know if you hear me right. I'm the team compliance officer. There's a lot of noise around me. I'm in Mecca, so I was not expecting to talk, but I just hear some questions that are kind of similar, and I wanted to just kind of jump in and then throw some idea there or give some response. I hope it will help understand, the vision of Japan. Because, as you saw in the presentation, we noticed there was a lot of money floating from, America to Africa, and then we saw that a lot of that money was not going towards building, sustainable investment or making important financial, investment. People were probably sending money just to feed a family member or just to help. But we wanted to also help with, building a one-stop shop where people can not only send money but educate themselves on finances, and also, find out about good opportunities to invest, not in only in their home country but in other countries surrounding their country, because we see Africa as a not only as a continent, but we see it as a block, as a whole. That's why we are not just focused on one country. We are, working to scale the platform and then just make sure many more countries are available. As far as being a middleman or having boots on the ground, obviously this is a digital platform, so and this is a change of mindset. Africa is also in the future. We're also in the digital world, and what we want to do is have financial assets or financial opportunities digitally available on Jakarta. Whether it's buying land or whatever type of investment it is, we're going to work with our partners on the ground to make it available digitally. Now, as Abdul said, we're going to start with secured financial investment opportunities like government bonds. But we're not ruling out any other safe investment opportunity. Obviously, we're going to work with professionals and financial professionals on the ground in Africa to make sure people can send money, but also know about these companies. That's a good investment in Cote d'Ivoire, or that's a good investment in Guinea, and they can put their money on it. They can buy stock, or they can buy a piece of land, or invest in farming, because Abdul also knows about farming, and that's also something big for Africa. Africa is probably a continent that can feed the whole world, but due to lack of investment, there's a lot of stuff that are not being done, and we believe that the younger generation just need to know about it. They just don't know about it. Many people just don't know about it. So, and that's why we were talking a lot about hosting some webinars, some training sessions where we're going to talk about those investment opportunities available on the ground in Africa, and see how we can make it available for our customer, for ourselves, because we also want to invest in Africa as well as in addition to sending money, we also want to invest. So there's a lot that we are working on for the future of Jootal. But right now, we want to go step by step. We want to build a safe house, a strong house where everybody is also welcome to join and bring their feedback. We really hope that it's going to be a joint effort, a community with all of you guys, and that's why we definitely welcome all of your feedback and all of your knowledge, and we really appreciate you being in this meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, very good point, Demba. Thank you very much for sharing that.
All right, do we have any more questions? Oh, yes, Anna?
This was just in reference to past questions and also just thinking like we're ahead for the future. Is it safe to say, I think I have two questions actually. Is it safe to say that we should be expecting more updates on any changes or transitions or more direction on where Jootal is headed with, additions to countries or also projects that are coming and then timelines through the newsletter that you guys send out every month?
Yes, every month we compile updates and then we send it once a month, and we try to let our users and some of the folks who have joined our waitlist about what we have accomplished and what we have coming in the pipeline. But there are also other updates that we do not share, and we keep it in-house. But should you be interested, I will say you can follow us on LinkedIn. That's where we are mostly active, but also our monthly newsletter. Yeah, we will try to be more in depth and share more details about what else we have coming in the pipeline.
Okay, awesome. And for my second question, I remember at the conclusion of the presentation, you guys mentioned sending in any questions or suggestions moving forward. I was wondering about any community type of events that could be taking place on select countries. Do you guys plan to be able to be in tune with what's going on in the community, and then by way of that, being able to update investors or people who be interested in some more in supporting the community in certain African countries as well?
Yes, in fact, we also have a pipeline of diaspora communities here in the United States that we have started engaging with. I think that Dirai on the call is one of the, she's a member of one of the community called GOC, right? So these are like type of communities we want to, partner with, giving us the opportunity to share about what we do, right? But also engage with other, like last 2 months ago, we engaged with the Senegalese community in New York through Demba. There's the Atlanta Tech Week happening as well. We are providing the tickets and to help the African communities here in Atlanta to come and not just engage with us, but also learn from others, right? Be more empowered, maybe advancing their careers, etc. So we're really building a pipeline of communities, and down the line we are brainstorming on how we can put these communities together, whether it's a Senegalese community, Guinean communities, even if there is not something we can serve, but in between them, is there anything else they can serve with each other, right? So these are stuff like we are doing, and we are also uh, having the pipeline of doing later. But we may continue hosting these webinars, probably monthly or bi-monthly. We don't know yet, but if it is something, that the community find interesting, we can definitely continue to do it.
Yes, yeah, and if you guys have diaspora communities within the regions that you are in, within Atlanta, within different cities around the US that you feel would be interesting or that you are already a part of, like we'd be happy to come in and talk with people there and also share some information. Our goal is to connect everybody together. So yeah, we're happy to join. Abdul's just in DC as well. I'll be at Atlanta Tech Week, so we're happy to meet anybody in person as well.
Thank you guys for this great presentation.
Thank you guys for joining us. And I've put our LinkedIn in the chat. I've put my email and Abdul's email as well if you guys would like to send us any questions, if you have any comments. And as well as for the Atlanta Tech Week tickets, I will be sending you guys the link with the code for you to validate. Make sure you use the link that I send you, because if you just go on Atlanta Tech Week to check out the ticket, it will not work. It will be $270. So use the link that I send you via the email. And yeah, if there's no other questions, we will conclude for today.
I just have a comment.
Yes.
I am Otan's buyer, and I've been listening. I connected after you guys already started, and I just wanted to encourage you for what you're doing. And honestly, Africa is the place to be. It's not just the future, it's the present. So what you are doing is a great contribution for the revolution that the world has been waiting for when it comes to Africa. We've been undermined far too long, and now is the time. And I encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. The best is still yet to come.
Thank you very much. It's really appreciated. It's words like this just keep us continue doing what we do, even though it's tough. But thank you very much. We appreciate it.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
Thank you so much. And it's a group effort. We're all in this together, contributing together, and it's really amazing to see like everyone and their projects as well. So thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. Sounds like it's a conclusion. You all have a good day, good afternoon, and then good evening. Bye.
Bye.
Good day.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.